I don't know how to feel about the movie itself just from trailers, but we're talking Gran Turismo. Officially checked it out. Spoiler warning if you haven't seen the movie. However, if you know the story, then you kind of should know the movie. But jumping into it, I mean, the director for himself. I mean, District 9, which is a masterpiece. I feel like a lot of people don't love Chappie, but I thoroughly enjoy it. I really enjoy Chappie. I love the character. I love his playfulness throughout that movie. Elysium is the one where I really didn't care for it too much. I remember pieces of it, but overall wasn't super memorable. I say that because this feels completely outside of his box, his wheelhouse, so to speak. It's different from him, and I think he did a great job. I think the fact that it's inspired by a true story and then the true story involves a video game, it's not really a video game based movie. It is a biopic of Jann. However, they definitely play into the video game and use assets from it. I really liked moments when, he's racing and you see the number up top. Or one of my favorite things that they would do is show us the race from Jann's perspective, and you can see how the car would just while he's playing Gran Turismo, and you can see it build around him, how he would change, how kind of his perspective, how he felt, and how this game was real to him, and how he was learning and putting in hours, like why he felt like he wanted and needed to be a racer, like he had that instinctually, and I like that perspective of it. And they did it a couple times when he was actually racing, and those moments when it was really cool. And there's these, when it comes to a race movie, when there's these moments when they put you in the seat, or you feel like you're the one driving with the sound, and it's just powerful, and you almost get pushed back in your seat from the adrenaline. There's some moments like that in here that were amazing. And then there's a couple, and this is like my smallest nitpick for the movie, is that there's a moment where it's building up and I'm like enjoying it, and then it jumps out to just show you this video game perspective of it, or the video games perspective of it, and it takes you out. It wasn't necessarily bad, but it just like I was getting into that moment where like, oh, I want to go fast, I want to race, I love this feeling, I can kind of feel the engine beneath me, and then it cuts and you see it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's a movie, damn. That small little connection happens a couple times, or that small little disconnect happens a couple times, and that's honestly my biggest nitpick. I mean, the cat who played Jann did a great job. The standout for me is Harbour. I think he brought this heartfelt character. You feel for him. I love the connection he builds with Jann throughout the movie, and I just like the way they were able to show us a multitude. Like you see Jann's passion for it, and like his natural just I can do this, and what he needed was that support. And although Jack was definitely super hesitant, and I feel like that's me putting it nicely to the whole idea, he saw something in him and was able to put aside his skepticism and really try to help these kids out, really try to help them be the best version of themselves. He wanted them to fail out because he didn't think it was doable, but as he saw that they were capable of more, he pushed them and pushed them. And I just really like that bond. Overall, this is a great movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love the feel of it, the sound of it, the visuals. And like I said, I didn't know the story, so when I was watching and things happen or unveil themselves, like Jan's big accent, we just sells, I was sitting there like, oh, shit, had no idea that was gonna happen. Really enjoyed this movie. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Did you know about the story or how accurate it was? But rewatchability, because that's my biggest thing, and you know that. I think it's highly rewatchable. I would definitely go back to watch it in theaters. I really enjoyed it. I thought the sound was great. It felt powerful when it needed to. You care for these characters and you really enjoy the world that they're presenting. Plus at the end, I love the fact that they show us the real Jann, and you see how he was his own stunt driver. Jimon Honsu, which hopefully I'm saying that right, never gets enough credit. I would love to see him more. I think he's capable of a lot. The music, the sound, I like the way everything played out. Unbeknownst to myself, I just fell into it and I started falling in love with these characters. I fell in love with the way they were designing and shooting the races and how I felt a part of it. So really, other than my small nitpick, I thoroughly enjoyed it. But I want to hear your thoughts, comments, questions, concerns. Have you seen it? If you haven't, I highly recommend it. Definitely rewatchable in my book, and that's one of my biggest deals. But until next time, stay safe, be well, y con mucho amor. Adios.